What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome into a Tuesday morning edition of the Daily Juice podcast with me, Matt Perrault, at Sports Talk Matt on Twitter to follow me. Same name on the Discord channel, at Sports Talk Matt. I hang out in the Daily Juice Discord channel, subsection of our Discord for the Daily Juice. This podcast always being brought to you by BetMGM and the $10 offer to win $150 when you sign up for a new account at BetMGM or BetMGM.com on the application. Juice150 is that promo code for a $10 bet to win $150 in free wagers from BetMGM. We're on YouTube, on the BettingPros YouTube channel for video, audio, wherever you get your audio podcasts. Hey guys, February 1st, what's up? I will have more details as the month goes on, but our giveaway this month is an autographed TJ Watt jersey. Not bad. That's a pretty cool giveaway. So we've got that, the NFL sack leader for this year and the co-record holder for most sacks in a season. We've got that giveaway for you Pittsburgh Steelers fans coming up here during the month of February. More details on how you can win that coming up, but keep your ears out for the February giveaway for BettingPros and the Daily Juice podcast. All right, so a 1-1 night last night. We got some benefit and we got some negative. So Joel Embiid out, number flipped to -3.5. Memphis loses by 3. So we get 3.5. The hook is good for us. So we get that closing line value that barely got there. If you bet plus 3, 2.5, 2, 1, 0, -1, I guess on Philly you would have covered, but on -1 wouldn't have covered, -2, -3, -4. All the numbers on Memphis didn't cover. The only number that covered was the number we bet, which was the first plus 3.5 on Memphis. So we get there on the hook, but then Trae Young was out for the Atlanta Hawks. That number completely flipped. We laid 2.5 points. Last night, that number closed, I think it was +2, +2.5 for Atlanta, and they wind up losing the game to the Raptors. So that's unfortunate. Their win streak is over, and we go 1-1 on the night. So here's what I'm doing tonight. I've been going 1-1 a lot. So I've decided to go 3 college basketball bets for us here tonight, just to say we're either going to go 2-1, 1-2, 0-3, 3-0, but we're not going to have a juice night. We're going to be up or down, all right, here on a Tuesday. So 3 bets, half unit, college basketball going for tonight. We're just going to get away from the NBA for a little bit. It's midweek NBA is such a difficult crapshoot, and with these guys, I mean, both Joel Embiid, why did he sit against Ja Morant? Like, come on, man, that's an MVP battle. Bad game for him to sit, and then Trae Young out, that stunk. So betting overnight in the NBA is very treacherous. So let's do some college basketball. All right, let's start with, there are 3 big games. Well, 3 big games, but 2 really big games. Let's start with Auburn in Alabama. Auburn at home, laying 7.5 points against the Crimson Tide. Now, I was on Baylor at home, and Alabama won the game outright. I had said before that all of gambling Twitter was on Alabama. Should have listened. That was a good read by them. Bad fade by me. Baylor, again, tonight looked bad, but Auburn has not looked bad. Auburn is 16-5 against the number. Auburn is 7-1 against the spread in the SEC. Auburn is 10-1 against the spread at home. Alabama 8-13 against the number overall. 1-7 Alabama in the SEC against the spread, and 4-6 on the road here up against their arch rivals in Auburn. So Auburn last time out laying 9.5 against Oklahoma. I was on that personally. They won the game by 18. It was a little bit close. The last time we backed Auburn was during the Friday parlay, and Auburn won the game by 1 point. So they did not, or I guess that wasn't a Friday parlay. That was like a Tuesday parlay or a Wednesday parlay that we missed. But Auburn won the game. They were favored by 12.5 points on the road, and they won by 1. That snapped the run they were on, winning and covering, dating all the way back to pre-Christmas on the 22nd of December. That was the last time they failed. So Auburn didn't cover against North Alabama on December 14th, on December 18th against St. Louis, and on the 25th of January against Missouri. But every other game going back to the 24th of November, which is their only loss, a 6-point overtime loss to UConn, they've covered every game. They've covered every game. Auburn's a machine. Alabama has to hit a ton of threes to stay in this game. I don't think that they will do that. Auburn was a 3-point favorite in Tuscaloosa. They won by 4. It was tight. If you remember, closing line value, where you bet it mattered. Came down to the very last shot for us to get there, and I believe we had 3.5, I think, and we covered. 4 was the number it closed at. So Auburn wins that game and covers. We're going back to the well here with Auburn laying 7.5 points. I like Auburn here to get a victory at home against Alabama. Bama, big win over Baylor, a little bit of a letdown spot in some ways. They beat Baylor. They've got Auburn and then Kentucky for Alabama. I could see them playing really hard against Kentucky, but this middle game, even though it is Auburn and their arch rival, I think this is going to be a tough night for Alabama shooting threes. I think Auburn's bigs go to work. Hostile environment. Don't think the Tide keeps it close. I'm going to lay 7.5. Auburn, half a unit at home up against Alabama. Play number 2. Kansas at Iowa State. Last time these two teams played, Iowa State was catching 13 points and lost by 1. Just lost the game. Had a shot at the buzzer to beat Kansas. We were on Kansas in that game. Kansas is 8-12 against the spread this year. They're 2-5 in the Big 12, and they've not covered in their last 4 games. In fact, they are 3-7 against the spread over their last 10 and 3-6 on the road. It's been quite the run here. They're winning, but they're not covering. They lost by 18 as 5-point favorites against Kentucky last time out. Laying 7.5 at home against Texas Tech, they won by 3. On the road at Kansas State, laying 6, won by 3. On the road at Oklahoma, we were on Oklahoma in that game, plus 3.5. Oklahoma covered. They lost the game by 3. They did pound West Virginia, but Iowa State got them at home. They won the game, but they didn't cover that 13-point line. And on the road at Texas Tech, they lost the game outright, laying 7, lost the game by 8. On the other side, Iowa State's a scrappy bunch, man. They play hard. They love when Kansas comes to town. This is where Hilton Magic comes in. The crowd's at full throat. They're going crazy. They just beat Missouri as 11-point home favorites. They won by 17. They beat Oklahoma State on the road. We took Iowa State in that game against Oklahoma State, and they won by 3 as 3-point dogs. They lost to TCU and Texas Tech in the 2 games before that, but they beat Texas, and they lost to Kansas by 1 in the 2 previous games. This is at home, catching 4.5 points. Iowa State is 4-4 in the Big 12 against the spread. They are 8-6 against the number at home, 13-8 overall against the number for the Cyclones. And I got a home dog here in conference play in a game they feel like they should have won in Lawrence. They feel like they should have already beaten these guys. I think you got Kansas coming off a loss. You might say, KU is going to come out and play really strong and bounce back, but maybe not. They've been leaking oil here over the last couple of weeks. Look, very well could be a 2 or 3 point win, even a 4-point win for Kansas, but I like the 4.5 points. I like that we get 2 possessions. I like the fact that there are, I could see Iowa State winning this game outright, frankly, okay? I like Kansas's team, but I think Iowa State defensively puts them right in line to win this game. I think the under's in play at 138 if you want to kind of double dip on this game. Iowa State's been, they've been all right, I guess. KU's been better on the road, 6-2-1 to the over. Iowa State is 5-9 to the over. I lean under here on this game. Iowa State overall 12-9 to the under on the season. 4-6 to the under over the last 10 games. So they've been, a little bit of an overrun here, but last time out against Missouri, 2 of the last 3 games have gone under. I lean under, but I like Iowa State at home plus 4.5 more. Maybe the game gets more high scoring than I think. We're taking Iowa State half a unit at plus 4.5. And for the tiebreaker, in case we go 1-1, like we've been going 1-1 a lot lately, picking 2 games, let's talk about the Creighton Blue Jays against Connecticut. And I know you're going to eye roll because a lot of you guys, I personally was on the Creighton Blue Jays against Xavier at home in the annual Pink Out game. I generally back the Jays in that game. They came out with intensity. There's always a lot of emotion in the building as they raise money for cancer research and cancer survivors inside of Chi Center. And it's 17,000 people wearing pink. The team's wearing pink. They auction off the jerseys. It's always really emotional. Jays got off to a big lead, huge lead, and then fell apart at home against Xavier. Just collapsed. This team has now collapsed in the second half against Butler and against Xavier. So it is a little scary. However, the Jays went 3-0 last year against UConn, including a win in stores, where this game is coming up tonight. The Jays are 5-4 against the spread at home. On the road rather, and UConn is 5-5 against the spread at home. Jays are 5-3 in Big East play against the spread. Same with UConn. UConn's been very, very good this year. They're one of the more, getting this team back in the Big East is a big deal. They're currently 15-4. They've won 5 consecutive games, and they're 9-1 at home. I don't think the Jays win this game. However, the line is 9.5. 9.5. I know offensively the Jays can be challenged, and they are not great here, okay? They're not on a great stretch. Road game, I get it. But 9.5 points in a conference game is heavy to me, okay? That's a lot of points to be laying. And frankly, the Jays last year, they beat them in overtime, 76-74. Beat them in Omaha, 74-66 last year. Beat them in New York City in the Big East tournament, 59-56. Different team last year, different team this year. Not debating this, but Greg McDermott, 3-1 all-time against Dan Hurley. The only loss was in Rhode Island, beat the Creighton Blue Jays back in the 2017 NCAA tournament. Only loss here. And the Jays have been pretty good this year against top 25 teams. They're 2-4 currently, outright straight up against top 25 teams. They normally play them really hard, and they're looking for their 4th quad 1 win of the season, and their backs are against the wall, okay? Frankly, lost 2 games in a row. Don't want to lose 3 games in a row here to start February. I think they do lose, but I think they fight, and I think they keep the game close. I'm going to take the 9.5 points. That's a lot of points in a conference game with a good coach. I know it's a young team learning how to win, but I think they'll respond after 2 very bad games against Butler and Xavier. I think they're going to play passionate basketball, defensively get after it, and I think they keep this game close. I do think they fall short, but I think they keep it within 9.5 points. I'm going to take the 9.5 points. Creighton at UConn at plus 9.5. I'm going to roll with the Jays here tonight. All right, so we're going with 3 plays, all half a unit plays. We're taking Auburn minus 7.5 at home against Alabama. We're taking Iowa State plus 4.5 at home against Kansas. And I'm taking the Creighton Blue Jays plus 9.5 at UConn here. 3 bets, half a unit. If anything else pops up, I may take the other half a unit and throw it in play. Maybe hockey. I got to watch that Panthers and Rangers line. It's an interesting game. Rangers are a very good team at home, straight up, and plus 1.5 goals on the puck line. And you've got a Panthers team on a back-to-back that scored 8 goals last night. Rangers might be in play there to keep that game close. So that's one hockey game I'm eyeballing. I might have a play on that, but I'm not positive as of yet. Nothing really in the NBA. Maybe Steph Curry under 3s, but nothing 100% yet for that other half a unit. If I do find something I like, I'll put it on the Discord channel, bettingpros.com/chat to get in, or on YouTube, the link underneath me to get in. Maybe NBA player props. There was nothing last night that I liked. Maybe something tonight that I'll like, that I'll jump in for that other half a unit. So stay tuned on that. My name is Matt Perrault. Follow me on Twitter @SportsTalkMatt. Each and every morning, it's the Daily Juice Podcast. Always being brought to you by BetMGM.